What's good, everybody? We are back with our first video in a long time. I believe 3 or 4 weeks or something, but we finally got some NBA Live 18 news. They released their NBA Live 19. Did I say NBA Live 18? I meant NBA Live 19. Released their trailer at EA Play. So we're going to do a little side-by-side look between NBA Live 18 and NBA Live 19. I was talking on Twitter with some people about whether or not it looks the same. A lot of people were saying, oh, if you think these two look the same, then you haven't played NBA Live 18 enough. And honestly, I haven't played NBA Live 18 all that much because it's not a very good game. At the same time, I do understand there are probably people that can see the differences a lot better than I can. So we're going to look at the original trailer for NBA Live 18 and the original trailer for NBA Live 19 side by side, along with some different screenshots to kind of give us a better idea. So the resolution on this isn't going to be perfect because these aren't the original copy, but it should give you a relatively good idea. We're going to listen to it without sound, or watch it without sound. So obviously the one is NBA Live's version of My Career. So that's like the main theme of both of the trailers. Got to keep that in mind going in. It does look like the graphics are slightly better, especially for the facial features in NBA Live 19. That's something you'll see going through. See Kevin Durant right there. That's actually, Kevin Durant is one of the only players that appears in both trailers, at least showing their faces. So you can kind of get a feel for what the graphics are going to look like in both games based off his. We're going to use that to compare later. Got Russell Westbrook right there. Now, one big issue with the facial models in NBA Live 18 is that there were some pictures where the players actually looked like zombies. So basically you would see them, their eyes would be half closed, and they'd be like... So there's a screenshot of Victor Oladipo that I'll show in a bit that was like the prime example of the zombie face in NBA Live 18. But we're going to keep going through. I'll try not to interrupt too much. So we got Giannis. And this, obviously, you can't dissect it very well side by side just because it's so fast-paced for both of them. And both of them have so many different cuts. It's tough to get like side-by-side gameplay at 1 second. Okay, so one thing you can see right here, this layup kind of shows one of the biggest gripes that people had in NBA Live 18 is that it was kind of clunky and almost looked like slow-mo. Nobody like actually moves at that speed in real life. And another thing that people complained about with NBA Live 18 was things being unrealistic. Right here you have Kyle Lowry trying to dunk on Joel Embiid. I don't think Kyle Lowry has tried to dunk on anybody in like the last 3 years. So maybe an example of more unrealistic gameplay. I think that was one of the biggest things that people didn't like about NBA Live 18 is I think there was actually a screenshot or a clip of a video where you have Isaiah Thomas dunking on Robin Lopez, and it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I might throw that into the video in a little bit, but we're going to keep on going. So you have Joel Embiid right there. Now, the dunk animations in 19, I will say, do look a lot more fluid and realistic. The jump shots look a little smoother, too, although they do kind of have the same hitch that it was last year. If you watch basketball a lot, you'll probably know what I mean more than if you don't. But sort of like being stuck in the air before you complete your jump shot. And then we're finishing out the NBA Live 19 trailer because it is significantly longer than the NBA Live 18 trailer. Overall, I will say the facial models do look significantly better. And right here, you got kind of like all the players together. Scottie Pippen, I will say, looks super, super cartoony. Number 33 on the Bulls over on the right side. So obviously, they can improve the game in between now and then. Devin Booker's facial model looks good. Joel Embiid's looks pretty good. So there are some spots here and there. Shaq's looks absolutely terrible. Looks like his face got scrunched up. But we're going to go take a look at some side-by-side screenshots just to give you guys kind of an idea of what NBA Live 18 looks like compared to NBA Live 19 and also some NBA 2K18 trailers. Screenshots as well. So you can see right here we've got some side-by-side screenshots of Kevin Durant in NBA Live 18, NBA Live 19, and 2K18. These are all from trailers. I didn't take any special clips or anything else. So I would say honestly, his face in NBA Live 18 looks more like Kevin Durant than it does in NBA Live 19. Now, obviously, this is not a super important part of the trailer. This is kind of just like a frozen frame, so it's not going to be as detailed. But at the same time, I would say both 2K18 and NBA Live 18, Durant's facial structure looks more accurate to what he actually looks like. I think 2K18's was a slightly higher resolution as well, so you got to take that into account. This isn't a super high resolution pick, but at the same time, it makes you wonder, are the graphics going to be really that much better? Another thing to think about is that one thing a lot of people noticed, especially when playing, I think, live run events in NBA Live 18, was a lot of inaccuracies in the size of players. I think that's pretty obvious right here. You got Kevin Durant, who is the tallest player among all of these, and is actually in the picture the shortest player. So Kevin Durant in real life is 6'11", 7 foot. I believe James Harden is like 6'5", but James Harden is actually significantly taller than Kevin Durant in this picture. Now, I'm trying not to nitpick, but this is like a pretty obvious thing. Also, one thing that people did notice is that you had girls alongside guys in a lot of different segments in the NBA Live 19 trailer. Most likely meaning that girls will be able to go up against guys with my players in Pro-Am and Live Run. That's what I'm guessing. It still hasn't been officially confirmed, I don't think. But it looks like, based off everything that we've seen, that there will be girl my players in Live Run and everything like that. Either that, or you'll be able to mix girls into your, what's it called, Live Ultimate Team. So maybe they'll have female cards. That would be, I'm not sure if that would be a good idea for Live Ultimate Team, especially since part of the reason why people like keeping up with the cards is because they're players they know. Being totally honest, nobody keeps up with the WNBA. So I think that might hurt the game if they did that for Ultimate Team. Might be a good thing for Live Run. Honestly, I am interested to see how they're going to execute this. Obviously, last year was the first year that they had WNBA anything in any basketball game. And it looks like Live is trying to incorporate that more, so we'll probably find out more about that in the future. So one thing I had talked about earlier was the zombie look in NBA Live 18. This screenshot of Victor Oladipo is the best example of that. Like, he looks like he's basically turned into a zombie. So one good thing that they have fixed from NBA Live 18 to 19 is the fact that the players no longer look like zombies at random points in the game. I think it was typically like when dribbling and during jump shots. I'm guessing it was just a glitch in the way that they coded it that caused it to look like that. So that has been fixed, which is a relief, because looking like a zombie definitely takes away from the realism of a game. It's obvious that they have improved a significant amount. And there's also not as many screenshots that you can compare from Live 18 to Live 19 because they didn't have as many individual player screenshots. A lot more of it was focused on the the one, as it's called in NBA Live 18 and 19. So it was focused more on the players that you create and build up throughout the game. And then lastly, I wanted to take a look just like exclusively at the gameplay. So we're not looking side by side, looking mainly at just the gameplay for NBA Live 19 to see how fluid and realistic it looks. So I tried to clip out all the non-gameplay parts and just keep the gameplay. So one thing that people talked about a lot was that the players look stiff in NBA Live 18. You see a little bit of that here, a little bit less as compared to NBA Live 18, but you still see the stiffness that people are talking about. Now, I don't know if that's just because the way the game is developed, because they haven't brought it to Frostbite yet. I'm not really sure why that hasn't been done, as I believe that is EA's most advanced graphics engine, but it is what it is. We have another year without the game on the Frostbite engine. So I will say that dunk animation right there was very, very smooth, very realistic, looks really nice. NBA Live 18 had a lot of cool signature dunk animations, but some of them were super cheese. There were a lot of basic, just like cheese moves where if you would start the move, it was impossible to be stopped. I believe baseline dunks were next to impossible to block. And that was one of the things that people disliked about NBA Live 18 is that in certain situations, there were shots that were just unblockable, which is not very fun for gameplay. I have heard that they put a lot more emphasis on defense in the game, which is hopefully going to be a good thing. But as you can see, it's a lot of cut-up gameplay. I will say for Steph Curry's jump shot, it's pretty accurate. they do have this hitch that you're going to see that some people will be able to recognize. For the most part, it looks pretty close to Steph Curry's actual jump shot. But you'll see it's not as fluid as his jump shot usually is, so there's a small hitch right as he reaches the peak of his shot, whereas Steph Curry has a very quick release. You can see he holds it a little bit before he actually releases it there. That dunk animation looks pretty nice, and you do see WNBA players on Dyckman Court, meaning probably at least for live run live events, there are going to be WNBA players. Now, once again, I don't think we see any female the one characters, meaning you might not be able to create a female one, but they are going to be on the live run events most likely. And then you got Allen Iverson. For the most part, most of the stuff looks relatively smooth. Still a little bit stiff, and you see like maybe a cheese dribble animation right there where he dribbles between someone's legs. That might have just been specific to the trailer. If that is a thing, probably a lot more cheese animations coming. And that's something that 2K has too, is a lot of cheese animations that are basically just unstoppable. But overall, it looks like it's improved. I'm not sure if it's improved enough to surpass 2K's gameplay in realism. And once again, a lot of people are probably going to be down in my comments saying, you're just a live hater, you're a 2K fanboy. I promise you I'm anything but a 2K fanboy. I just want a great basketball game. And while I hate the direction that 2K goes, I hate the way they don't listen to their fans, there's no doubt that 2K had the more realistic gameplay last year. So I'm hoping that can change this year. We haven't really seen any 2K gameplay yet, so we'll be able to compare it better whenever that does come out. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Make sure you drop a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the squad if you are new, and I'll see you guys next time.